Hey guys, my name is Abyssle, and welcome back to Sakura Spirit. This is actually part 11. I'm a fucking idiot, and yeah. So, I hope you enjoy this part and the next part, which will be a rerun for me, because I just fucking did this not even 5 or so minutes ago, and in terms of I just finished the session, of which I recorded 2 more episodes, and Shadowplay let me down really hardcore, so I'm going to use my other recording program, perhaps, for the moment, to record this game, because apparently Shadowplay hates it. So, yeah. We'll go off from there. And now I have to reread through the same shit that I just recorded. Fun times, right? It's so good. It's so much fun. Alright. Excuse my saltiness. Let's go. So, you remember this. This happened in the last episode. Yeah, awesome, cool. So, we're heading back now. We dashed across the village to the elder's house, nearly grabbing a weapon along the way. When we got there, we heard shouting and exchanged worried glances before pushing through the door. Halt, villain. Oh my. Prepare your, did we cross into a different dimension? I'm not reading the rest of that. Never. I'm going to vanquish you. The scene that lay before us was unlike anything I had ever seen. In one corner, Maiko was cuddling a large, empty bottle, sleeping and giggling to herself. At the back of the room, the village elder was hitting a large casket with a lock on it, while grumbling to himself. In the center of the room, Machiko lay pinned to the floor by Miyo, who was tickling her mercilessly. Naruchan, help me with this. The chest is locked, and all the sake is trapped inside and suffocating. We need to rescue it immediately. Oh jeez, we're drunk. Takahiro-kun, can you stop those two? This wasn't the battle I was expecting. I nodded my head in confirmation to Narumi's request, and I turned towards the 2 girls on the floor, trying to decide how best to deal with them. Well, if I'm drunk, it would probably have been easy enough to get Miyo to release Machiko. Before I had a chance to intervene, the 2 girls roughhousing on the floor caused them to bump into the table, knocking over a bottle of sake onto them both, or to the both of them. Aw, I'm all wet now. You spilled the sake. Oh, stupid. The girl pushed herself upright, failing like a spoiled child before turning tail and running through the door. Good grief. Who knows what she might do? Naruchan, please go get her. In this state, she'd only make stupid advances at me. Right. As Narumi ran off to retrieve the drunken fox girl, I was left to take care of the remaining few. Miyo-san, you need to come with me. We need to get you into something clean. You just want to see me naked. What? No. What? No. Sorry, I read that wrong. I'm not a pervert. Why does everyone just seem to think that? I mean, I do want to see boobs, but I have my honor, damn it. Nope, I'm not going to do anything you tell me to. I'll stay right here and swim in sake. I sighed and looked down at the woman who was indeed trying to swim in the tiny puddle of sake on the floor. Taking a deep breath, I prepared myself. Tsundere Chief, enemies have been sighted near the hot springs. The numbers are about to overwhelm us. We need reinforcements right away. I came up with a bluff on the spot, hoping it would get Miyo out of the room. What? We have to vanquish them at once. Come on, private pervert. To the hot springs. But aren't we supposed to defend? Before I had time to finish my sentence, Miyo had dragged me to the entrance of the building by the collar of my robe. No, attack. Get to the hot springs and attack. I'll be there soon. And with that, she shoved me through the door with a hefty kick. The door slamming shut behind me. My hearing wasn't perfect, but I could have sworn I heard a yelp and a tumble following Miyo's departure. A large open area lay ahead of me, closed off by a tall bamboo fence. There was also a small area off to the side for more delicate washing. Sighing to myself, I began to tidy up the place a little, removing sharp objects and small obstacles that the drunken woman might have injured herself with, and waited. 5 minutes went by before I heard the door open and close, followed by the gentle slosh of someone stepping into the water of the hot springs. The water's great. Hurry up and get in. Whatever happened to attack? I turned around, expecting her to be standing in the water with her clothes on. However, the sight that awaited me was far from what I would have expected from the Tsundere tyrant. There was no katana slicing through the air, or any harsh words being shouted. Instead, an attractive-looking girl wearing a simple towel, I decided to take a seat in the hot water. Miyo-san? Whether it was a result of drinking or not, the warm smile she showed me caused me to pause. Care to join me? I don't think... get in the water. Yes, ma'am. I quickly moved closer to the water, nearly slipping on the wet tiles before I made my way in. I folded up my robe, but kept the towel I had found around my waist. Today's been pretty busy, huh? Oh, the last thing I expected was for all of you to gulp down sake like a baby drinks its milk. The girl said nothing for a while, regarding me with a faint grin on her face. It made me nervous. I'd almost rather have her shouting and angry. You don't slack off, do you? I can tell that you train a lot. Huh? I briefly caught off guard by her comment. I quickly gathered my thoughts and nodded in return. Well, I practice judo, so it's natural for me to train my body a lot. I'm sure the same can be said of you, son. You look, rather feminine, but I could tell you knew how to handle a sword. That shows diligence and talent, but above all, experience. You started young, didn't you? I did. She leaned back against the rocks and let out a sigh. It took me a long time to become competent with a blade. Days and nights of endless training, regardless of wind or weather, all in order to toughen myself up, to make myself strong enough. It is horrible. Knowing nothing of your early life, I just turned up here, in rags. The guards found me out in the woods one day while on patrol, starving and dirty. The previous village elder took pity on me and took me in. Everything went well for a while. Naomi's family took me in, treated me like one of their own. Then, everything fell apart. Seeing the village that had taken me in, fed me, clothed me, given me shelter, suffering at the hands of spirits, I couldn't take it. As she spoke, she let out another sigh. It seemed the alcohol was making her a bit more talkative than usual, which wasn't a bad thing. I just hoped I wouldn't end up paying for it once she'd sobered up. After that, I felt like I had to do something. I couldn't just sit by while everything fell apart around me. The village was devastated by the fires. On that day, I pleaded with the former chief of the guard to train me, to make me stronger. I wanted to protect the village, to protect Narumi, at any cost. He eventually agreed, but told me that I would need to strengthen my resolve first. And that's why you became, you can say it. Tsundere tyrant? I don't know what tsundere means, but the tyrant part isn't far off. I didn't want to drive anyone away, least of all Narumi. But I had to, or not to feel the pain of loss again. Spirits haven't been our only problem, bandits, beasts, and the weather. The village needed protection from all of it. It became a purpose, and it made me distance myself from everyone else. I guess that explains why you've been acting like that around Machiko and Maiko. That's right. Although, I'm beginning to think that perhaps we can coexist. The fox spirits, at least. I suppose this has something to do with you, so, thank you. You're welcome. It's not like I did much. I mean it, truly. You and the sisters may have saved me a life of living in fear, perhaps even prevented my death. I think you better tell them that. You're right, especially considering what comes next. Huh? What do you mean? The girl's words were becoming incoherent, muttering something about spirits in the village. It seemed like fatigue was finally taking its toll. Well, the other spirits probably won't be leaving the village alone anytime soon. We're gonna have to figure out how to stop them. But asking Maiko-chan and Machiko-san to help us is like asking you to turn on Narumi-chan. Turn on. The girl giggled at this for quite some time, so I let out a sigh and coughed politely. What I meant was they'll have to fight against their own kind at some point. I mean, why would they want to help you guys out in the first place? I think you and Narumi-chan will be the pieces we need to solve this puzzle. And we better figure it out. We better figure out what to do soon. I doubt the spirits will hold back next time. You sound like it's some kind of game. That's not nice. As she said this, the girl slid further down into the water. It's a bit easier to think of it like that. The moment they get ahead of us, it's game over. And if you and Narumi-chan fix things between the villagers and the sisters, things might work out. You have to get as close to them as possible. But I don't like girls like that. Sakura became incredibly flustered by my comment, having misunderstood what I had said. Before I could explain, she slumped over, cheeks a deep crimson red. As I tried to move closer, it became clear that she had passed out. The heat had probably gotten to her. Just my luck. She had to pass out, wearing nothing but a towel. I swear, someone up there has tested my patience with all these temptations. Sighing in annoyance, I carefully wrapped my arms around the girl and pulled her out of the water. Realizing that leaving Miyo here would be a bad idea, I thought about what to do when Urmi came barging in. Takahiro-kun, I heard you were in here and I managed to... Whoa. What's going on here? It's not what you think. Great Captain couldn't handle the heat. Could you take over here? Sure. That's what happened. I believe you, stud. Come on, I'll take her. I'll make sure she gets a good night's rest. But if you did do stuff to her while she was drunk, she's gonna kick your ass. I shall refrain from provoking her wrath. The last thing I need is a hungover samurai trying to turn me into a shish kebab. I motioned for Urmi to come over. You should get some rest too, Takahiro-kun. And make sure you keep an eye on Shi-chan. She's a little restless right now. Leave her to me. She'll be in good hands. And with those words, I left Urmi to take care of the passed out captain. I quickly changed into the robes I had borrowed and made my way back to the main hall. As expected, I found Machiko curled up on the floor. Thankfully, it looked like she had made her way to Maiko, and was cuddled up next to her. Cuddled. The two girls looked adorable, and their cute mumblings only made it all more enjoyable to watch. I considered waking them up so I could return to the mansion, but the sound of my name interrupted my train of thought. Walking out into the garden beyond the room, onto the wooden deck, I found the village elder sitting on the grass, looking up at the stars. Young man, are the stars here as beautiful in your world? I walked over to him and lay down flat against the grass, finally allowing myself a rest. I looked up at the night sky and smiled. You know, I never really got a good look at him. I was always busy with this or that. I yawned loudly and felt my eyelids getting heavy as I wiggled around a bit in an effort to get comfortable. Perhaps you should. To get back, that is. The previous elder once told me that all worlds shared the same sky. It sounded silly to me. Maybe there's something to it. I mean, it does look similar. Sparkly and black. Maybe he was right. The elder remained silent for a while. When he spoke again, I could barely make out what he said. Sleepiness taken over. Before long, I drifted off to sleep beneath that starry sky. How long do you think he's been out here? Must have been a while. His clothes are soaked with the morning dew. As I drifted back into consciousness, I heard Urmi and Miyo talking nearby. Their voices sounded hushed, as though they were far away. I briefly considered jumping up and scaring them, but my body was not going to let me. Maybe you should poke them. Kage, there is no need for that. Takahiro-san, wake up, you lazy slob. I groaned as my eyes finally opened, the early rays of the rising sun making me raise a hand to conceal my eyes from the bright light. I was usually a quiet morning person, but having fallen asleep under the starry sky, I wasn't exactly in familiar surroundings. Did the Valkyrie come to take me off to Valhalla? He's talking gibberish. Do you intend to lie around all morning, or do you plan on being useful? They're warrior angels who come down to the heavens, pick up the souls of fallen warriors who have fought heroic battles. Not that I planned on dying anytime soon. You're no warrior, and neither is Narumi. Did you become an even bigger idiot overnight? This is exactly why I need to train you both. None of you are warriors yet. But with my help, you will both become fine, noble warriors capable of handling anything. I liked her more when she was drunk. Me too. It will be an honor to learn from you, Sensei. Yes, ma'am. Maybe Takahiro could teach us both some of his moves. An excellent suggestion, Narumi. Sorry, I'm losing my mind. I believe he is a competent fighter, and learning more than simply how to use a weapon, but to fight without one, too, would be a very convenient skill to have. However, work cannot begin like this. You need to get changed, eat, and wake up. Get to it. Grass is kinda soft here. And the view is pretty nice. Yeah, but if we leave, these mountains will disappear. That's a convincing argument, Narumi-chan, but I wonder which mountain would be the most difficult to climb. Mount Miyo or Mount Narumi? Enough of this idiotic banter, you bumbling buffoon of a boy. Miyo-sensei, can I ask you something? What is it? We've been overwhelmed by the power of your soon, but could you please bless us with your dairy once in a while? You'd like that too, wouldn't you, Narumi-chan? Might need to explain. I don't really know what that means. Sorry, Takahiro-kun. Never mind, don't worry about it. I'm just saying that she should be less of a meanie pants and show us a bit of love and affection. What happened to motivating your troops? Meanie pants. Will you stop making such ridiculous comments? I had to slap some respect in you. Angry Miyo. I kinda missed the Miyo I saw at the hot springs yesterday. But that was something completely unrelated. You don't know what you're talking about. Stop saying such embarrassing things. Jeez. Personality disorder? What? As if one was bad enough. You're saying we've got 2 Miyos wandering around? Just wait, Narumi-chan. Soon we'll have a whole army of Miyos. Stop it, stop it. Shut up, both of you. Right this instant. This is getting ridiculous. The girl, who was now blushing brightly, turned her back to me and stormed off with a huff, her arms crossed indignantly. I guess I better get up before she decides to return and kick me into gear. Thanks for the wake-up call, Narumi-chan. After apologizing to Miyo, explaining that it was merely a joke, the girl had decided she wanted to train each of us, personally. We both waited for Miyo to show up for the first part of the program, which was to take place in the town square. It reminded me of a training camp in the dojo, although I had the feeling this was about to turn out to be more fun. As we waited, I noticed that preparations were being made for what looked like a festival. I asked Narumi about it, and she told me that it was an annual celebration happening a few days from now. As we chatted, Miyo turned up, sword in hand, and a faint smirk upon her face. Also, if I'm reading this really fast, I'm sorry. I'm gonna try and condense this into one episode, unlike the 2 that I just recorded, so that I can just get this out of the fucking way and go into something that's something I don't know yet, so we can just get some progress here, you know, and so I stop fucking up life. That'd be great. That'd be fantastic. Perfect, it seems like you're ready. If there's something everywhere your needs, it's strength and discipline. With this in mind, let us start with running laps around the village. Oh no, not laps. That's all? Yes, and those who slack off will be punished. Now run. Without any warning, Miyo drew her sword and pointed at the 2 of us. Cringing, Narumi tugged at my arm, making it clear that our teacher wasn't joking. Let's get down to it, shall we? Oh no, she's enjoying this far too much. We will defeat the spirits. Oh boy. Get your yapping and get to running, unless you're eager to feel the edge of my sword. Yeah, she's totally enjoying. Come on, Takahiro-kun, let's get going. She's not gonna be reasoned with like this. She's a frickin' drill sergeant. As I started to run outside near me, I decided to finally take the exercise seriously. All things considered, I was surprised at the pace Narumi was running at. Even though I felt like I could brag a bit about my own physical strength, her stamina was clearly superior to mine. After several hours of running, I found myself on my back. My breathing was ragged and heavy, while Narumi was still standing upright, although visibly exhausted, judging from her panting. Miyo had been keeping up with us, and while she was panting too, she still looked fit to fight and ready to go. Did you do this every day? Not every day, no. Otherwise, we would get no patrolling done. But I cannot fault you for your spirit. You both did well. That was harder than anything we've ever done before. I wouldn't be surprised if Miyo-san ends up being the final boss someday. Your strength and stamina are clearly beyond human capabilities. Clearly, maybe she's some kind of spirit. Here to be mean to us on a superhuman level. Narumi, how would you like to run 10 more laps around the village? No, I'm sorry, great Miyo. Please forgive me, I was just kidding. You think we'll be allowed a break if we pray the almighty guardian spirit of this village? I hugged Miyo as I attempted to hold back with my smile, clapping my hands together in a prayer. Narumi giggled and followed my example. Oh, mighty Miyo-sama, you who watch over this village, please bless us with a short break. Maybe a lot of money and a beautiful wife and... Okay, break's fine. You 2 idiots want to break that badly? Fine, I have an idea. Elder-sama needs his bats cleaned. That'll loosen you up for the next part of the training. You hear that, Narumi-chan? We get to play at the hot springs. Yay! Clapping my hands one final time, I took Narumi and Miyo's hands by surprise and dragged the 2 girls towards the village elder's house. Huh? What are you doing? Go with me right this instant. Miyo-san, it won't do any good to be serious like that all the time. Let's have some fun. The 3 of us quickly reached the hot springs, and were soon preparing to begin our work. However, didn't take long for the somewhat serious cleaning work to turn into a series of silly games as I started chasing Narumi around with a soap-soaked sponge, shouting in a nefarious tone, "I am the soap monster. Prepare to be washed, foolish warrior." No, the evil soap spirit has appeared. Do not fear, citizens of the hot spring village. Yeah. The girl grabbed her mop and thrust it forwards, brandishing it like Miyo would have her katana. I am the village's protector, Sundarinio. How do you do that? Sundario? Sundarino? Sundari Miyo. I will vanquish all who oppose me. You two stop messing around. We have work to do. It's the dreadful Miyo, nemesis of all spirits. Today is the day you fall. Yeah, never. I will defend this place until my last breath. Brandishing her mop in a candid fashion, she clearly didn't mean to do any real harm. Using my sponges, I batted away with ease. Then today shall be your last. I told you to knock it off. I laughed menacingly when a playful push from Narumi caught me off guard. I staggered backwards, my foot slipping on a bar of soap. With a startled yelp of surprise, I felt myself topple over backwards, bumping into Miyo. As I lost my balance completely, I let go of the sponge, sending it flying towards Narumi, who caught it on the face. I moved forwards to apologize to the woman when from behind me I heard a yelp and a loud splash. Uh-oh. I don't want to look, do I? As I slowly turned around, my fears seemed to have been confirmed. Pulling herself up from the water was Miyo, soaked from head to toe. The anger that radiated off her made her look like the devil himself. You two. I'm sorry. It was Takiro's fault. He started it. Traitor, you can't blame me for... My eyes caught sight of Miyo's clothes, which I finally noticed had turned see-through. I bet he did it so he could see you're soaking wet like last night. That was not part of the plan. What plan? He's joking, it was just a joke, seriously. Takahiro and I were just playing around. It was an accident, please forgive us. Yeah, you should forgive us. We were just having a bit of fun. We didn't mean to have it turn out like this. And he's right. I told you both not to play around. I told you both to keep working. Ikage, I'll deal with you later. Leave, Takahiro. You need to be punished now. What? That's not fair. It was an accident. It was an honor to have fought alongside you, Narumi-chan. My will is now up and written, but I leave all of my belongings to anyone who wants it. I'm not leaving. You're going to punish him, punish me too. Besides, I bet you're only doing this because you want to spend more time with him. What? That's ridiculous. Whatever you that idea. I don't even like him. Besides, you're the one who's spending too much time with him. Hold on. What are you talking about? You admit it. You're jealous because I get to spend more time with him than you. Busted. That's complete nonsense. I just want to spar with him. Shut up, Narumi. Here, prepare yourself. We're going to spar right now without Narumi and her big butt interrupting us. Hey, now I know you're jealous. My figure's divine. Spar? Right here? Right now? But you're soaked. The warriors should not worry about such things. Battle can be fought in the lashing rain or beneath the burning sun. They must be fought. She just wants to show off her goods. I'm gonna regret this. I sighed deeply as I took a combative stance, certain that something was gonna end up going wrong. Soaked as she was, fighting against me as someone who uses grapples and throws, she's practically asking for trouble. This is a perfect opportunity. Sometimes your greatest strength can become your own worst enemy. Get in here, Takahiro. We'll spar like this, knee-deep in water. This will be a fine test of your skills. The girl made her way to the edge of the water and grabbed a discarded mop. A lot of willpower not to glance at her soaked figure, as her clothes clung to her body. I eventually made it into the water, taking a defensive stance as she moved back towards the center of the pool. Narumi, if you interfere, I will inform Elder Sama of the fate of his dearly beloved old teddy bear, the one that you used as a... No one needs to hear anything. Fine, I'll stay put. You need someone to haul the body from the water once Takahiro-kun's done with you, anyway. Isn't that blackmail? Oh, it is blackmail, alright. Now prepare yourself. The attack came a lot faster than I had anticipated. The wooden shaft aimed squarely at my midsection. Hit me straight in the heart, knocking me back a few steps. I hissed as the pain of the impact spread, flexing my arms out. Miyo sloshed forward, waves of water splashing aside as she stomped up onward. Pushed myself upwards, dodging another strike to my left. Go, Takahiro-kun. I moved it closer, trying to make her thrust less effective thanks to the straight length of the mop handle. I aimed a blow towards her shoulder. To my surprise, she took the hit without moving an inch. If you're not gonna put everything you have into this, you might as well stop calling yourself a man. My eyes narrowed a little, and I pulled back as a wide strike sought to slam into my side. Growling, I felt my anger flare. I quickly lashed out, smacking the mop handle away forcefully, and used the opportunity to get close once more. I managed to land a few jabs against her midsection, and one to her shoulder, before darting backwards as best I could in the water. She appeared winded for a moment or two before she spun the mop in her hand, pushing forwards again. Takahiro-kun! 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 Her next strike was a downward slash, which I caught between my hands. With a grin, I pulled hard on the stick and flung my foot upwards in an attempt to land a kick. She did the only sensible thing and let go of the mop, which let me toss to the side with ease. Swordswoman without a sword can't help to be an experienced martial artist. This match is lost. Surrender. Suppose I have no choice. As soon as she said that, she spun around, lashing her leg upwards in a roundhouse kick that caught my jaw, knocking me back, and almost landing me on my rear. Ass. Overconfidence gets you killed. The fight isn't over until your opponent is down. She stood in front of me, her fists raised in a stance I did not recognize. She was quicker without a weapon than with. I didn't stand a chance of beating her. Her kicks were powerful, as the ache in my jaw reminded me, and she had plenty of stamina to go off. The only way I could stop her was to use that. It's not the only way to win a fight, you know. I stepped forward purposefully. I didn't need to attack her, just to get close. A few steps and I had her right where I needed her, cornered and unable to get past me. I took another step and she darted to one side, trying to get past my blockade. I looped an arm around her waist and braced myself for the counterattack I knew would follow. My left leg applied pressure against her knees, sending her down onto them, while my other arm grabbed her arms high above her head. My weight pressed against her body. No. Yay, Takahiro can use the submission hold. I held her tightly, but not enough to cause pain. All I had to do was lower my right hand, which in return would put pressure on her body. I did so slowly, showing her just what she was up against. You give up? Yeah, fine, you win. I grinned wildly, chuckling to myself. I slowly helped her to her feet, gradually releasing my hold. Try not to struggle when I release you, otherwise... But it was too late. Before I had a chance to warn her about the problem with that particular hold, she pulled away from my grip. The angle of her arms and the tightness of my arm around her waist caused her gloves to tighten as she pulled away. Blood circulation had a tendency of getting cut off, occasionally causing people to faint. In this case, however, it was her clothes that paid the price for her impatience. Rip. As the girl turned to face me, her clothes tore, scattering into tiny pieces in the wind. And like that, I will end this episode here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry if I seemed a bit salty and if I rushed the episode. It is a longer episode. I just wanted to get this caught up, and hopefully we can continue in a better fashion now for the next episode. So thank you guys so much for watching. This is part 11. My name is Abyssle. Please like, favorite, do whatever. It really helps me out. And share me around to your friends, I guess, if you want. That'd be kind of cool. I'd like more voidlings. Yeah, until then, peace out, my voidlings, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye, guys.